This is absolutely disgusting and it's only going to get worse. But this time we're lucky because it's been detected. Although, I'm going to be honest, this is pretty easy to detect. The fact, though, that this made it onto Metacritic is very worrying. And this is a wider industry issue. We're seeing a load more layoffs in video gaming journalism. Eurogamer are suffering tons of layoffs as well. Recently, we'll go over that news as well. But also, what this means is that sort of layer of the game journalists. I'm not saying they're all great and fantastic, whatever, but that layer of trying to hold publishers, game devs accountable to their audience is getting eroded away and replaced with AI. This is actually insane. Look at this, right? So this is taken from the Metacritic review that the video game, and if any of you guys remember Video Gamer, back in the day, used to be quite a good website. Now it's terrible. It's just a complete AI slot website. Anyway, this is taken from one of their reviews. I'm going to read some of it, but I'm not going to read all of it because it's absolute trash. And you'll see what I mean when I read this. There is no substance to this. It is just words to fill out the article while putting in a couple of SEO kind of keywords. Resident Evil Requiem is not just a victory lap for Capcom's survival horror dynasty. It is a chainsaw revving, blood-soaked testament to why we love getting scared stupid. It is the sort of finale that effectively grabs the franchise by the lapels, shakes it violently, and demands you acknowledge just how far it has come since the tank-controlled days of 1996. While other series limp towards their conclusion, Resident Evil 9 arrives with the confidence of a tyrant smashing through a brick wall. That doesn't tell me anything about the game. It happens like clockwork with every major Resident Evil Requiem leak, doesn't it? We worry if the developers can balance the scales. After the Southern Gothic, I'm not reading the rest of it. You can see there is literally, there's no substance to that. It's garbage. Now, this is extremely sad. I want to highlight this from Dom Sacco. Dom, if by some reason you're watching this video, didn't we meet in Westminster? I think we might have done it, like a UK interactive esports media thing. I think I remember meeting you there. Anyway, whatever. What I'm trying to say here is Dom says that he basically goes over all the time and all the effort he put into becoming a gaming journalist, and he's been replaced by an AI. And this is horrific. I mean, this guy's not real. He's just an AI generated slop image, and apparently it's Callum Mercer. I'm Cal Mercer, a UK-based esports journalist covering competitive titles across LEC, VCT, global Counter-Strike circuits with a background in broadcast production and data analysis. He specializes in tactics. I'm not reading the rest of it. It's not real. This is not a real guy. It's actually insane. And Dom does sort of go on to say, this is fast becoming the new norm now. I'm not sure I'd advise any aspiring gaming esports news writers to go down this route anymore. Go and make short-form video content or stream or learn about presenting if you want to earn a living. Now, I mean, I'll say, yeah, a lot of these can be replaced as well. Presenting, maybe not so much at the moment, but definitely short-form video and that. But the leading message from this, and it's the message I would give a lot of people, is you can, if you want to get into writing about, whether it's games, esports, or whatever, just do it on your own YouTube channel. Do it on your own stream. Do it on your own TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Take control of it yourself. You may not get paid immediately, but you will be in charge of the output, and you will not suffer the fate of being replaced by an AI bot because the owners of your website have decided you're too expensive, even though they're almost certainly paying you minimum wage. They'd rather have a bot generate slop. And yeah, I mean, he does actually say online writing on third-party news websites is now legacy media. It is, and probably has been for some time. So sad to see it die like this, but you have to adapt and pivot to survive, and that is the moral of this story. Now, I do want to cover this from VCG, although I think this was first initially broken over on Twitter, but basically it doesn't matter because this recaps it. So games media is set for more layoffs as IGN-owned Eurogamer cuts the editorial staff, and the beloved British publication, which was sold by former owner Reed Pop in 2024, along with other gaming network brands, is facing at least its second round of editorial layoffs since joining IGN. VGC understands. Maybe it was VGC that broke it. I apologise if I got that wrong. That's understood to include the brand's most experienced editors and its entire 4-person video team, though at least one person will be transferred to IGN, according to people with knowledge on the situation. Behind the camera cuts have also been made to the popular video channel Outside Xbox. VG understands. The brand has more than 3.5 million subscribers across its channels and recently wrapped a UK stage tour. IGN Entertainment, which operates under Ziff Davis, acquired the Gaming Network group of brands, and websites for an undisclosed sum in May of 2024. Gaming Network sites include the renowned publications like GameIndustry.biz, Rock Paper Shotgun, and that's another one which that used to be like the go-to website back in the day. I mean, I'm not accusing them of having AI generated content. I don't think they have. In fact, I know they don't. But they, I don't know, they kind of fell off the radar a little bit. But anyway, and VG 24/7, while it owns shares in Nintendo Life owner Hookshot and Outside Xbox. However, since joining IGN, the gaming network brands have faced editorial upheaval due to a mix of layoffs, redeployment, and divestitures, I should say. When the deal was announced, it came with several editorial cuts across publications and the closure of board game site Dicebreaker. Shortly after, a voluntary redundancy program initiated by Ziff Davis saw more staff leave. Most significantly, virtually the entire gamesindustry.biz team left the site, though it's since rehired for most roles. While respected tech site Digital Foundry, this is the one that got away, which was good. They bought out Gaming Expert shares and they just went independent. Now, obviously, they've got a formidable YouTube offering. They are, they've got enough to keep themselves going. So I'm happy that they were actually able to break out of the arrangement that they had. And in some ways, they're kind of like, they show you that, yeah, I mean, this happened to, oh God, the name of it's gone out of my head. What is it called? Yahtzee. What were they called? Somebody tell me. If only this was live streamed, I'd ask the chat. You guys know what I mean anyway, but they annihilated their website and those guys just moved away and basically did what they were doing on the website and did it on their own channel. And I believe that's fairly successful. So anyway, notably last summer's operations quietly rotated editorial staff across brands after Eurogamer's editor-in-chief decided to take on a new role at IGN. Following the previous EIC who joined in 2020, virtually the entire Video Games 24/7 editorial team was moved onto Eurogamer. Significantly, the staff who left Video Games 24/7, a respected news site launched in 2008, were not replaced, and the brand currently exists only as a small guides operation run by a pair of full-time writers. The editorial cuts have left many in the remaining and leaving Gaming Network staff wondering what the future looks like for a group of historic games publications that already look unrecognizable compared to 2 years ago. I mean, like, it's horrific that they're getting rid of people and replacing them with AI, but I suppose on some level, you look at people like me, you look at YouTubers, you look at streamers, you look at all of that stuff. In a lot of ways, the writing has been on the wall for these type of publications for a long time. I'm not saying that they can't be successful. They can be with different styles of, I guess, monetization. But it's sad that they're just being replaced by AI. Because like I said, we do need that layer. You need that layer in between games, publishers, journalists. I would class content creators as kind of like an offshoot of that layer. They can be journalistic in some ways, but a lot of the time, they're like gamers with a voice. That's the way I view myself anyway. I'm not a journalist. I just react to what's going on. I talk about what I think. I've obviously been a gamer for like 25 years plus. You know what I mean? My Steam account's like 20 years old, so probably 30 years. Oh God, how old am I now? Oh no. Anyway, let's move on. So, the wider games industry, publications that cover video games have been rocketed by a turbulent market since the highs of COVID. Which I suppose is something to say, right? There was obviously a massive boom. Everyone's at home. COVID, let's hire for everyone. There's going to be, surely these levels of engagement are going to last, and obviously they don't, because as soon as people can go outside, they generally go outside, unless they're playing, I don't know, the Marathon Server Slam, which I was, and I came off it to make this video. According to data supplied by VGC and Press Engine in October, the global pool of video games journalists declined by 25%. I mean, yeah, with more than 1,200 journalists who regularly cover video games leaving their positions. According to Press Engine, founder Gareth Williams, the most significant contributor to job losses in the games media, are an overall shift towards covering the biggest games, resulting in increased competition for those who remain and harmful changes introduced by the Google search engine. A culmination of a number of factors have cost video games journalists some of its brightest talent, Williams told VGC. The COVID highs, followed by lack of diversification in content and diversification in advertising spend, Google's helpful content update, summaries, and AI have contributed to where we are now. Yeah, I mean, I suppose in some ways that this does have a massive impact. You search for something, Google just gives you a little summary of it. You just take that. You don't go to the website, don't get exposed to their advertising. They don't make money, so that's kind of been cut out of them, which I suppose is one way to look at it. But then again, plastering your website with adverts is a shit user experience, and people generally don't like that, do they? Fan-led media might be the simplest route to consolidate revenue for publishers and secure the future for staff, but it's only the start. He added, in a consumer world where ad blocking is standard in games as a service and social media are communication tools where children and adults form their relationships, video games media needs to evolve and innovate. Support your favorite publications before you don't have the choice, which is true. But like I said, I think this is why people gravitate more towards content creators, YouTubers, and streamers, because ultimately they are like them. They are gamers. They are experience it. If they're able to put their thoughts together and produce videos, then they do. Or whether that's short videos, long format videos, or stream. And that is like I guess curating the I don't know, like the community feedback in a way. There's a load of different ways of looking at it, but we don't want gaming media to disappear. That would be a very bad thing. So Kotaku reports on this. Now, Metacritic, as I say, have removed this review, but it is insane that it actually managed to do it. So, like they say, video gamers, human staff, they were wiped out and they were replaced with AI slop, which is a shame, because if some of you guys may remember, Video Gamer used to do these really cool breakdowns of like E3 and stuff like that. They were really good, but that was years ago. Anyway, we'll go through this because there's some shocking examples in this. So, a Resident Evil Requiem review published by long-standing UK gaming news site Video Gamer has been removed from Metacritic after readers pointed out it was written by a fake AI journalist who doesn't exist. Video Gamer's human... I mean, this is crazy. It's just crazy, ain't it? It's just crazy. So they gutted all the humans last week, and the site has been publishing AI-generated slop ever since. Video Gamer purchased BGFC a few years back and recently sold to gambling SEO spam agency ClickOut, gave Resident Evil Requiem a 9 out of 10 and its review this week, in its review. But readers pointed out that the writing reeks of AI, and its author, experienced iGaming and sports betting analyst Brian Marigold, appeared to be a made-up person complete with an AI profile image. The review in question is full of cliches, generalities. My God, I cannot talk. What's going on with me? Rather than specifics about the game and how it plays. I've read this because this is what we read at the top of the video, but we're not. This is just horrific. There's just no detail. There is no detail. It's just AI, but it's just, I've made an SEO slop for you, sir. Put it on your website. It was previously scraped and featured on Metacritic for its review score roundup on launch day. It raises concerns about quality control for the primary video game review aggregator that fans consult before buying games, and that company's mentioned in their quarterly earnings report when touting the success of recent releases. This is just crazy. I mean, you can see here, right? There's a picture. You sort of see Brian Marigold there. With he's a lifelong gamer, passionate writer, adventurous reviewer. He joined in October 2025. He's got 1 follower. He's like, what is this guy? You know what I mean? What? Oh, and there's the tweet from Dom. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. I mean, the Resident Evil Requiem review and a handful of others video gamer reviews from 2026 have been removed from Metacritic. Site co-founder Mark Doyle told Kotaku. Well, that's good, but shouldn't have happened in the first place. But it was odds on this was going to happen. As spotted by Gfinity's Andres Aquino, in a post on X, everything about Brian Marigold's profile and video game comes off as suspicious. The byline appears to have no prior online history, and the profile image URL is titled ChatGPT image October. Oh no! Several other authors of the site have similarly suspicious-looking AI-generated profile pictures that don't mention they were generated by ChatGPT in their file names, suggesting this may have been a slip-up on Video Gamer's site management as it pivots the outlet to completely AI-generated junk. Other current bylines on the site include Shooter, awesome Shooter. It's like is that Shooter McGavin's brother from Happy Gilmore? What? And Stephen Danielson. Like the Marigold account, all 3 had their X profiles created in Oxford. It's just crazy. Oh, what? Look at the state of him. This is crazy. It's just crazy. This is like, I don't know how they thought they could get away with it. Anyway, that's what gets me. Sources told Kotaku that ClickOut began publishing AI-generated content under the casino and gambling portions of Video Game around that time last fall. But it wasn't until the staff was axed last week that AI content started being pushed out into gaming news, reviews, feature sections as well. Older human bylines from the site's 15-year history have been completely wiped out as well and overwritten with fake AI profiles. While it's impossible to verify what content is or isn't generated with AI completely accurately, I should say, multiple AI checkers Kotaku have used to verify the legitimacy of the Resident Evil Requiem review sounded alarm bells. It wasn't the only recent video game review to get picked up by Metacritic either. A recent Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green review, which was published on Video Gamer and subsequently featured on Metacritic on February the 23rd, has also been removed from the aggregator's roundup. Oh, dearie me. So there we go. What the hell can I say? This is just going to get worse, because the fact is, it is super cheap to pump out these bots. It is very easy to set up a little kind of agent AI thing, which is just going to pull news from wherever you want it to pull news, quickly format it into an article and throw it into a website. It can do this relentlessly all of the time. The only cost involved will be the AI token cost, which is probably a damn sight cheaper than it is to actually have a human produce the content. But of course, at the end of the day, if a human makes the content, it's going to be a lot more readable than whatever the AI is generating. And the AI could make mistakes, and it is going to make mistakes. The problem with all of this, though, is you do not want AI infiltrating places like Metacritic, because that is not a human review. You can say what you like about the quality of the reviewers, whether you agree with them or not. It doesn't really matter. You do not want AI reviewing stuff, because that is not real. It is bollocks. All right, guys, I've been Stylosa, and I'm not AI, not yet. That should be the way I sign off all my videos. I'm not AI, not yet. But I might be next time you watch. You can follow me on everything, which is at Stylosa, and I'll catch you on the next one. In fact, before I go, it does make me think, what things have we been exposed to that are AI that we just don't know? I'm sure I've looked at stuff and read it and thought it was legit, and it's not. This is a worrying world to be in.